Everyone at KPEL, and lots of changes going on. We obviously have a new president-elect, and we have a new chief of police here in Lafayette. Not even, 2 full weeks on the job, I don't think, at this point.
Has he, officially started? I guess we need to ask Mr. Aguillard, huh? All right, Toby Aguillard joining us on the line this morning. Well, sir, good morning, and thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning, Bernadette and Rob.
So, good morning. All right, so what's the timeline for you, Chief? How is it going to work? What's going to be happening?
Well, I'm hoping to start Monday. But, going through all of the HR requirements takes a bit of time. So the plan is Monday, but it may be a little bit longer. But I'm eager to get started.
So tell us a little bit about your law enforcement philosophy. I mean, what are you hoping to bring to us here in Lafayette, and should we expect any big changes?
Well, you're probably not going to see big changes right away, but what you're going to see is our continued march to problem-solving, community policing that was started in recent months by Chief Thomas. I think that's where we've got to go. Establishing partnerships between the citizens and the police department is important for every city these days, and that's what I plan to continue.
Let me ask you, from your years of experience, within law enforcement, I am proud that so many of you are willing to get up every day and continue to do the job, because it just seems like it's twice as hard as it used to be.
Well, these are the times in which we live. I heard on the radio this morning some officers were murdered. Was it Pennsylvania this morning?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
And that's terrible to hear. But the truth is, for most of us, law enforcement is more than just a job. It's what we were born to do. It's what we want to do. It's our calling, and for many of us, it's almost a ministry. So it's part of who we are. It's what we choose to do. It's what we like to do, and I think we're going to continue. I mean, we've got some hard times right now, but it's going to get better. No question about it.
Yeah. So tell us about this area. Your wife is from Ville Platte, is that right?
That's right.
Okay.
Ville Platte girl. I got lucky with that one.
And where did you grow up? You grew up, in Cameron Parish?
I grew up in Cameron Parish in a small community called Grand Lake, which is just south of Lake Charles.
Okay, gotcha. So
Yeah, it was like Mayberry growing up there. It was fantastic.
Which is awesome, but did you have a Barney Fife in your town?
Yes, we did. We had several. And you know what? They're still on patrol there.
That's
Great
awesome.
Guys.
That's terrific. Tell me about when you come into this community, obviously, you'll be looking at a lot of different things. You have talked about working to continually accent and work on this community policing idea. But what about other things to get our community involved with one another? Because a lot of people complain that we have two separate communities in Lafayette. Do you think you can help in that regard?
Well, I'm certainly going to try. We've got to open up the dialogue with everyone, and that means everyone. It can't be two communities. We're all Americans, right? I mean, we're all in this together.
Yeah.
And it's time for us, I suppose, to realize that and come to grips with. Everyone has different ideas. Everyone's coming from different backgrounds, but the truth is we're all Americans, something in which we need to be proud, and with that in mind, we need to move forward. I think that Lafayette is a great community. I've been here, Rachel and I come here as often as we can. We have family here. We have friends here. I don't think it's going to be difficult to help bridge the gap between the two communities here, and that's what we're going to attempt to do.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that, it starts with dialogue. It starts with talking to one another and then moving forward.
The being the director of the Internet Crimes Division with the Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office, I'm kind of curious. Obviously, you bring a lot of expertise in that realm as well. It's so sad that, we have great libraries and we have the Internet, and it should be wonderful places to go, but unfortunately people get scammed all the time. Kids can be, prey to sexual predators, etc. Do you plan to beef up or make any changes in that area? Do you anticipate?
Absolutely. You know, I was lucky enough to be chosen years ago by Attorney General Richard Ayoute to work on the newly created Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force at the Attorney General's office. And that was around the year 2000. And back then, the Attorney General had a vision for where we were going, where America was going, where Louisiana was going, where technology was going. And he was right. He anticipated that there would come a day when everyone would be walking the streets of all of our towns with a cell phone in their hands, a smart device. And all the problems and the good things that has led to. It has to be addressed, and law enforcement had to keep up. And so it's become my passion. Protecting children online is very important to me. It's something I've done for a number of years, and we will continue that here. I see us beefing up that aspect of the police department relatively soon. But, the Internet is not just a bad place. There are so many great things about the Internet. And one thing that most people don't realize is that the Internet has allowed guys like me who have worked Internet crimes against children to locate and arrest those who would harm our kids. It's given us the tool we needed to identify them that we've never had before. And that's important for folks to realize, too. And in that sense, the Internet has been great for us in protecting our children.
You know, Chief, I have to say, we talk to a lot of different law enforcement officers, whether they serve as chief or whether they're patrol officers, and have to see. And to me, this is a totally personal just observation that I have, is those who are the most successful are the ones who are optimistic about the place where they patrol or the departments in which they lead. What is your vision long-term for the city of Lafayette as far as it comes to dealing with crime, preventing crime in certain places, and maybe trying to prevent what a lot of people think when you hear about a shooting, here in Lafayette, a lot of people just assume it's in one area, and it's not that it's not important, but it's not so surprising. What are you going to do to combat that?
Yes, when we lose one of us, it hurts us all. It really does. And we are one community. And, I foresee in the near future an evidence-based approach to community policing. And what I mean is mirroring what's being done across the country to combat crime. Evidence-based approach means identifying the needs of the community, identifying the shortcomings in the community, and addressing both of those issues to better the community and better improve the quality of life for everybody. It means working not only with traditional partners in law enforcement, like the district attorney's office, the sheriff's office, the police, other police departments within the area, but also bringing in non-traditional partners like you guys. The media is so important for us in combating these issues, bringing in schools, mental health professionals, drug rehabilitation professionals, businesses, and probably the most important partner in all of this is the faith-based community. We all have to come together if we're going to improve our quality of life. And, this is being done with great success right there in Baton Rouge, and I'm looking to sort of mirror that here in Lafayette. That's my long-term goal. And
I'm kind of curious from your law degree perspective. I guess people really can't get away with much with you.
I don't know about that.
Is it the kind of thing? I mean, that's a pretty unique perspective. I mean, you got the law degree, you've practiced law, you've been in the AG's office, Internet Crimes Division, 25-year veteran of our years of working with police and being in that capacity. I mean, that's a pretty great perspective.
Well, and I thank you for that. Being a lawyer is important. I didn't go into law school. At least when I went to law school, I knew that I didn't intend to practice law in the traditional sense. I'd already fallen in love with law enforcement,
mm-hmm.
and the only practice of law that I've ever done is generally been prosecution. So, which is not a far throw away from the law enforcement aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's been my whole life, and having a law degree certainly helps with many things when it comes to just even liability, when it comes to understanding and hopefully helping our officers to understand the Constitution and what our true duties are and protecting the citizens. And so it's played a good role in my life. I enjoy being a lawyer. I'm proud to say I'm a lawyer, but I've never really practiced in the traditional sense, other than the years I spent in prosecution.
As we're wrapping up here, and we've been speaking with our new police chief, Toby Aguillard, I'm kind of curious about, you spoke about it briefly, but that's transparency. It's our job as the media to not necessarily hound law enforcement, but you know, we are constantly looking for answers because the public is constantly looking for answers.
Absolutely. And the public should demand the answers. You know, we work for the public. We are servants of the public, and there should be a certain amount of transparency. Obviously, when it comes to criminal matters, there's a certain amount that has to be kept from the public until a trial takes place, because we're all innocent until we're proven guilty here. But transparency is something we should all strive for, especially in government agents like police, law enforcement agencies. Great
information.
Yeah, definitely so.
We want to just extend our invitation to you. If there is anything you have coming up or you want to talk about, our studio is open. We think that, you know, as much information as our public can have about what's going on as far as safety goes in all areas of Acadiana, we are all about. So, Toby Aguillard, thank you for your time today.
Thank you guys very much. Look forward to working with you in the future.
Well, we're going to hold you to that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Thanks so much, sir.
You too. Take care. Thank you. You too.
It's 7:52. Great information as always, and lots of good things ahead, looks like, for the police department.
You probably can't get away with anything with this guy. No, I'm just kidding.
Acadiana's Morning News continues after this.